what led me to reach out, right? Because I mean, I
Yeah.
heard the advice, and I was just thinking, I was like, well, if I'm like, you know how I say I'm like close, but like one thing away or a few things away, and I was like, you know what? Why not give it a chance, kind of thing. But then again, and plus I was like, if I could do it, right, there'd be other people that probably want to do it too, and that might motivate them to do it, kind of stuff. Long story short,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yep.
I mean, it sounds like you're in a place where you're just taking off, right?
I'm trying at least.
So give me a little idea of what, like exactly a sketch of what's going on in your life right now.
Okay, right now, okay. Well, I'm just working a lot, learning how to code, and trying to buy a lot of UFC NFTs.
Okay, explain to me what that is.
What, UFC NFTs?
Yep.
Well, okay,
What?
the best way to describe it, right? For just basic people out there, just imagine for this one specifically, right? But NFT is like an asset. Like you can think about it like crypto stocks, but these ones are kind of like think about it like trading cards that have a value. Let's just say, like for example, they made like a thousand trading cards for this one trading card, or compared to 10,000 trading cards. So the one that has only 1,000 minted will be the one that has more value. And depending on
Right.
who you know or the marketplace, then that's how you can, for example, there's this guy, right? He tweeted on Twitter. He's like, okay, well, I thought about it. I just got these three NFTs, and each one, right, cost like 2005. Other one was like 4,000. Some other one was like 4,000. I was like, it's like holy frick. And the next day, he bought another one for like 6,000. I was like, so he spent like 18K on that. I was like, oh. So you kind of get my example. But now the ones he
Sure.
bought are probably like a few are going for like 18K, but nobody's gonna spend that on that right now, I guess.
So they'll be building up to the value as time goes on and this grows and grows and gets bigger,
Precisely.
correct?
Yeah, but I
Okay.
mean, that sounds like everything else, though. You know what I mean? Common stuff. But yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Okay, so where are you in the so you're in the buying process of this or looking to start buying or
Oh,
what is it that you
oh, I
go
already, I
ahead?
already, I already bought a lot, but this it's gonna take years. It's not one of those things you're just gonna wake up one day and be like, boom. Because right now, like the market is still small for it in a way, right? But UFC is like the most growing thing I feel like there is, kind of thing. If you watch UFC kind of stuff, yeah.
Okay.
But this is
UFC and NFT, is that what you call them?
yeah, NFTs, yeah,
Sorry. So that's not my area, obviously, but I'm excited to hear about this part of what you're doing because so in the UFC part of your journey,
yeah.
where are you in that? Because I think the last time we spoke, you were kind of more in a different place. You weren't in this NFT side, you were in the UFC side,
Oh,
right?
like training type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
See, if you see behind me, there's a little punching reflex mitt back there. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, don't
Okay.
get me wrong, I still do that all the time. But last
Okay.
time I just didn't explain that part to you guys because I was just more explaining the love for the sport. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Sure, sure.
yeah,
Okay, so this is bringing us up full circle into where you're actually, your passion is more about building this other side,
yeah,
correct?
yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, what are three challenges that you're kind of feeling right now as far as getting that going for yourself?
For I mean, the NFT part is easy because all you do is just like buy stuff, right? And like clearly just wait at the right time or kind of thing. So that one's nothing hard. But the other part takes like actual time and effort in life to like literally wake up and be like, well, let's do this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But
Okay.
you know how like for example addiction, right? 'Cause I did a podcast on addiction before, right? And I said something about like I don't want to get too deep, but long story short, you know, when you're addicted to something, like people just think about addiction as in like bad, bad, bad. But for example, you could be addicted to working out also. You know, when you're addicted to something, you feel bad if you don't have that craving. So for example, let's just say one day you're like, you know what, I'm not gonna do it, but then you like in your brain, you're like already wired, like, damn, I have to do this, I have to do this. So that part feels good once you get to that point. Like positive reinforcement kind of thing.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay. So those are that's kind of a driving force to the UFC side of things for you,
yeah,
as far as like you feel a little bit of an addiction there, and that's a positive addiction for you right now.
yeah, yeah. And plus, as a
Yeah.
guy, who doesn't want to fight somebody?
Right. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that again is something that I'm on a different level for that.
Yeah,
My addictions would be different, but it's basically that same kind of driving force, right?
yeah,
All right. So as far as let's go back to talking about, so you're working a lot. How
yeah.
does working a lot kind of work along with this goal that you have? Because what is your final goal here when you're looking at this, at the different aspects of what we just talked about? What's your final end goal there?
Oh, okay, okay. So like this whole last 2 years, I used to work like every day, like 6 times, pretty much like every day, like for like the whole year, except Sunday maybe, but you have like an on-call phone maybe from people, and like so I changed my whole life around. My end goal is to be a computer coder because at that time, the whole world is a computer stuff, right? Then you could
Sure,
literally never
absolutely.
have to work and never have to see, I guess, people dying, all that kind of stuff too. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that was or continues to
Oh,
be
that
your
is my
end
end
goal.
goal. Like so, like after I'm done talking to this, I'm gonna just grab some coffee, start reading for 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So you've got to focus on what your goal is right now.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the UFC and the NFT comes in where in there
Okay,
with
so
that?
my the top one is definitely that coding. The UFC one is like that's like I guess that's like one A and one B kind of thing. Then
Okay.
the NFT one is like for fun, but at the same time like because you always have to have more ways to make money. You're not just gonna just work or just buy stocks or crypto or NFTs kind of stuff, or you know what I mean. You just have to have more. And that one is like the stuff. So you like, for example, you could do any kind of NFTs, right? There's a lot of stuff out there, but that's the one I know about the most. So that's why I chose that one because that's where the passion is at. So I'm gonna definitely enjoy it more and like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Sure.
Hmm.
Okay. Great. So it sounds like you kind of have a lot of different um avenues that you're looking into and what your end goal is to kind of have yourself be financially secure down the road with things that can obviously allow you some flexibility with the coding. You're going to be able to do that remotely. We touched a little bit about a possible move for you coming up.
Oh
Is
yeah,
that
to
still,
Florida? Yeah.
yeah, is that
Yeah.
still something that you're looking into
Yeah.
possibly?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got a lot of things going on. How are you keeping track of like filtering those things into what's the most important today
Hmm.
and and how are you kind of focusing and keeping your path kind of where you need to be
Oh, okay.
currently?
I love how this conversation works. You can tell you're a professional. Let's pause for a second. I gotta introduce you as the life coach because I don't think people
Oh,
understand. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't
yeah,
think people
absolutely.
understand who I'm talking to. But I guess on the title it will say life coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yes.
overall, like I mean, every day, like let's just say if it wasn't one of those days that I worked overnight, I would wake up, work out for like an hour kind of thing because you always get that one out of the way right away. Then after
Yep.
that, take a shower, do what you gotta do. Then grab the coffee. If I'm off, you know what I mean? Grab the coffee and just read.
Okay.
And just
So
keep
that's
on
the
back and
reading,
forth. Yeah.
the coding part is your reading part?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So are you in a course right now? Are you doing like self-study? Is it just kind of
Self-study.
reading books at this point?
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. Does your work have something to do with your coding right now, or is this something completely different? This is just to pay the bills right now to get you where you're going.
The
Is that
coding?
right? No, what your actual work is that you're doing right now.
Oh no
Your
no no.
like overnight job.
No. I mean no. I mean I love the job too. Don't get me wrong, right? But this is just something I want to do before I die. The coding.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is something that you're focusing on for your own like future.
Yep.
But right now your job is to pay your bills, correct? And then that's
Touche. Yeah.
okay. So how I guess when I was kind of starting earlier, I kind of wanted to know how those things, other things in your life, such as your job that really don't kind of go along with your coding and your UFC and your NFT stuff, how does that job work in your life? Is it beneficial to what's going on with you? Is it like how is it working for you
I
right
mean,
now?
this one is because I literally switched to this job because to get the free time. Because if you only work 12-hour shifts, then you don't have to work every day of the week kind of thing, or 5 days a week. So everything I did was literally for the coding. So yeah, so I literally switched my whole life to get free time just to read for the coding.
Okay, so
Because that's
you're working like 312s right now?
or you could pick up kind of stuff, but pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. Well, that's awesome. So I'm glad to hear that you're doing some things
Yeah.
around that to
Yeah.
kind of help so that you have that opportunity to work with the things that are passionate for you
Yeah.
moving
Yeah.
forward.
Yep.
So what is like currently okay, you reached out to me because you want to put this on your podcast. You think that maybe it can help you move forward and help other people see how life coaching can help them, right?
Touche. Yeah.
Okay.
And plus to
So
like break that comfort zone kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So
Yeah.
how do you see that working in and fitting in with what you're doing right now? How do you see the coaching piece of that helping catapult you forward right now?
The coding piece.
No, the
Oh,
coaching.
coaching? I mean,
Yep.
that one I don't know, but like since I see how the conversation is going, kind of like I guess you just talk about the stuff and like then how you're trying to see how the dots are connected. Like, so do you have the free time to do this kind of stuff? And you know what I mean? Like just to like think about it deeper if you're not already thinking about it, kind of thing, to get to that point.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
So yeah. Okay. So tell me, I'm just trying to see, have you experienced or had any other coaching type experience in the
No,
past or know of anybody that has?
no, definitely. No,
No?
I'm just I like to do stuff myself, so that's why this one's way, way different.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I'm so proud of you for making that leap forward. And I'm really honored that you called me because I feel like you have, in my opinion, have all these foundations already set up for yourself. You're very motivated. Obviously, you've got a lot of goals set for yourself.
Yeah.
What I see that coaching can do for you is maybe help you kind of focus on which goals are important at this very moment and
Mhm.
how to get to that goal and then set goals along the way.
Yeah.
And then kind of make sure that you've got somebody checking in on you to make sure that you're doing those goals
Yep.
and not kind of getting stuck in certain places. And that's kind of what my role is as a coach is I kind of help people get unstuck.
My cousin,
So,
I got the, not to interrupt you, right? I
no, you're
know the
fine.
perfect person that needs to talk to you, my cousin. Like, I'm gonna talk to him tonight because he's kind of in a place of kind of being stuck too, right? But yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's kind of cool. Yeah, but go ahead, I'm listening. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, no,
yeah,
I want you to talk. I don't want to
yeah,
hear myself talk. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to ask you some more questions. And I'm trying to kind of like narrow in on exactly what's going to get you to be able to maybe have that job of yours kind of be something that you can do if you want to, but you
yeah.
don't have to, and how you can go into that coding quicker. Like what is, and maybe the things that, because I take it that the coding is like 1A, the
Hmm.
UFC is 1B, and the NFT is 1C. Is that what we're talking about?
Touche, yeah,
Is that the order that we're looking at?
yeah.
Okay. So to get to that coding and becoming like a full-time coder for you, what does that look like in your mind right now to get there? As far as a time frame, as far as like actions, what is it that you need to do to get there?
Well, I mean, the only way I picture is you just gotta just keep on reading and practicing every day. Then sooner or later, it will click because I do know a decent amount of stuff, right? But coding, the way it works, it only works like how creative your mind is because like you have to be like, for example, you could know how to do any basic coding, right? But you have to like know how to like make it mix together. And right now, my imagination is not there, but at the same time, the knowledge is in there because I don't know all the basic to the T. Because one of those things like it's like a math pretty much. Like you have to know the equation. If you miss one part of the equation, one period, one sign, the whole thing does not work. It's like error. So like until I get to that point, so the way in my head, I feel like because I'm just gonna read this one, then just keep on rereading it. All I do is like reread the same thing back to back. Then once I get all the basics down, so let's just say January or something, right? That'd be sweet if it was before January or at January, right?
Yeah.
Then after that, then I can like move on. Because once I know the basics, like so I can't make any errors. Because right now I could do a lot of unique stuff, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people can do unique stuff too that knows how to code. So you got to separate yourself to how to like. But I'm trying to make a game and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Now I want you to be a little bit more specific for me. So there's a lot of different types of coding. So when we say coding, what kind of coding are you doing? Is it for gaming? Is it for like
Right.
technology? Is it based? I mean, what kind of coding are we talking about? I want to be
Okay.
real specific.
No, you're good. Okay, this one's called C++, plus plus, right? So it's like basic computer language coding. So like you can do
Okay.
whatever you want to do with it. You can code games, do a website. For example, Amazon was made from C++. Plus plus. Like so like, you could do whatever you want to do with C++. It was like the first coding language that was made back in the days kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, that's a
Mm.
little bit more clear. So
Yeah.
I'm
So
from my background is medical field. So
yeah.
I'm picturing coding in a little bit different way, which is really interesting that you can kind of come to different areas. You know what I mean?
You're
As far
thinking
as
about
what
like I-10, like hypertension, like stuff like that, J44-9, like COPD and stuff
there's
like that.
there's that coding, then there's
Yeah.
like the medical insurance coding. There's all
Oh
kinds of different
yeah.
coding. So I'm just like trying to wrap my mind around what you're like thinking about what it is
Oh,
that Nate does. So
oh
I'm super
yeah, yeah.
excited that we tore that apart and you explained that to me because that kind of helps me understand exactly where you're going. So are there courses that you can take for this, or is there schooling, or what typically is the avenue that people take to get to this place that you want to be? Is
People,
it
I mean,
just what you're doing right
no,
now?
no, no. People probably go to school, but I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it like just all me, like you know what I mean, just all like
Yeah.
the mental stuff. But don't get me wrong, that way taking a course might like accelerate it. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I just want to be like, yo, I put the time and effort into this all by myself, and
Yeah.
that'd be a big accomplishment kind of stuff. And plus, once you do stuff like that, you realize like, wait a minute, if I can do this, I can do whatever kind of thing.
Absolutely. I
Yeah,
love that. That's
yeah.
so awesome. Yeah, you obviously have a very creative mind. And so that energy is something that have you always been really creative? Is that
I mean, probably when I got, I mean, probably not necessarily, but like you know, if you do medical stuff, like if you deal with a lot of people's life, you have to get creative because I mean, from the stuff I just seen, realize how short life is and like how you can pretty much do whatever you want to do if you put your mind to it. Like I said, like I think I told you guys that story. Like I met these two like 95-year-old guys, and like me, I love people, right? Like and like
yeah.
I thought like this 95-year-old guy was like the coolest guy I have ever seen. It was like that's how I was doing like home care, right? And I was like,
Mm,
oh, walked in, he looks like the best looking 95-year-old guy you could ever see, like just nice looking, dressed good,
yeah.
learning oriented, like everything about him was perfect, right? And I was like, wow, my man, God has blessed you kind of stuff, right? And like
Yeah.
he was very wealthy, like invested in everything possible, right? And we're just talking, blah blah blah. I'm like, wow, thank you. Because we meet people like that, like you're technically blessed to see them. Like, thank you, God, for putting me just to see this person. Otherwise, I would have never seen somebody like this. Then I left his house, right? And saw another 95-year-old guy 45 minutes later, and I was like, shut up. This guy's just as good or even better. And I mean, it's like, what? Then
Wow.
after that, I met this 84-year-old guy, and that's when everything clicked. Because what we talked about after that, I was like, no, I literally went
Mm.
home that day and changed my whole life around. I was like, because that 84-year-old
Oh,
guy just connected every dot, and I was like, and I
oh my
started waking
gosh.
up at like 3 a.m. I was like, nope, you got to time. Everybody has time. It's just how you manage your time. So after I realized it's about time
Mm.
management, I was like, if you don't have time, it means just sleep less, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I love that.
yeah,
So you met these three gentlemen at the perfect time in your life and the way that I see it. So
yeah,
had you seen them or met them another time in your life, you may not have recognized everything that you recognized in them. And that's pretty awesome because that tells me you're ready. You're right
yeah,
there, right?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure that told you that as well. That's pretty awesome. That's so awesome. Okay. I want to, because we get off track here a little bit, and I want to make sure that we get everything like really taken care of today because I want you to understand what it is that I do. I want to understand what it is that you need. And if I
Mhm.
can help you, this is what we're going to do is figure that out today, right?
Yeah,
So, okay. Let me just kind of, because some of these, I want to make sure that it's completely tailored to what what you're doing and what you're looking for. So what is okay? See, I have some questions that I wanted to ask you, but I really don't think that they're relative
it's okay. Go
to
ahead
what
if you want to.
you're doing. Well, I do, but I'm going to kind of alter my
Hmm.
questioning a little bit just because I want to make sure that we're on the right track. So I'm just going to set my stuff aside and make notes if I need to. But all right. So when we're working on, let's say, your goals for the next, you said January, you want to possibly be ready to start your coding, correct? Hopefully, if not sooner.
Yes.
Okay, so what kind of goals have you set for yourself so far? Like monthly goals? Do you have a month goal? Do you have a 3 month goal? Do you have a year goal? What kinds of things are we looking at right now for
For
you?
the coding perspective part only?
If that's what you're working on right now,
Yeah.
I think that it can be easy when we have so many ideas in our head to
Yeah.
kind of go and try to do them all at one time,
Yeah.
and it can get overwhelming. I think that you're working out your UFC side of things is something that kind of centers you, is how I'm feeling it. It's like,
Touche. Touche. Yeah.
yeah, it's like I can tell that it's definitely something that you're passionate about, but also at that same time, it's really what helps you stay grounded, which
Mm-hmm.
is so, so important because when you're looking at exploring and expanding your world like
Yeah.
you are, having that ground is just super important. So I think
Yep.
that piece obviously is always going to be like in motion for you.
Yeah.
But then to get to the other thing, the coding, I think, yeah, I think I want to know, just let's talk about your coding as far
Mm-hmm.
as the goals that you're setting for yourself, like 1 month, 3 month, a year.
Yeah. Okay. From that perspective, I don't think I really have any goals. The only thing I just do in my head is pretty much, well, gotta wake up and just keep on reading. So I just open the book up and just reread everything until back to back until I get it. Then, like for example, I guess like after I finish this like kind of like course kind of thing, like book, I want to just reread the whole entire thing again. Then find like a different book with the same exact basic concept and just reread that. Or actually, I mean, look at it first before I start reading it. Then be like, maybe it's a little bit because the first one I read it was like, oh, okay, at a basic level. Second one, I was like, oh, wow, it's the same thing, but way easier to understand. And I was like, oh my gosh, so I
Hmm.
read that one twice. Then this one is like, whoa, I thought I knew pretty much all the basic stuff, but this one's like the same exact basic, but like 10% more to it. I'm like, so like just then after I reread this one, I want to do it again. So like, but the best part about it is like once you read it the first time, when you're rereading it again, you're like, oh my gosh, are you serious? You start laughing to yourself like, "Psst, is this easy? You know what I mean? Yeah.
You
But yeah.
start catching on to those things and realize, I got this, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Well, okay, so it sounds like maybe let's think about like your 1 month goal would be to have like a certain amount of books read
Yeah.
under this topic, correct?
Yeah.
Reread. Like, okay, so by the end of, I mean, it sounds like your work takes up a little bit of your time.
Yeah.
So you have to think about time.
Yeah.
But within that time frame,
Yeah.
how many books maybe can you engage in within 1 month?
Touche,
So a goal would
touche.
be to kind of set that goal for yourself to say that. But then at the end of that goal, um, I would really like to see you like celebrate that goal that you met by maybe online taking, um, I'm sure I would imagine that there's some kind of coding test, even if it's
Yeah.
free, just a test that you can get on and take to kind of test yourself to see, hey, what did I learn?
Right.
Where did I go with all this information that I'm grabbing? I want to know how much I've actually grabbed.
Touche.
So to celebrate that would be kind of cool to take a test and kind of see where you're at there.
Hmm.
And then that would kind of allow you to maybe set your next month goal as far as, okay, so now I've got this part done, but I know
Hmm.
I need to tweak this, I need to work on this, and gives you maybe a little bit more of a focus on the areas that you need to work more on
Yeah.
instead of rereading the same book that you've got 75% of this book. Let's
Yeah.
kind of expand a little bit and go on to what's the next part that I want to learn,
Yeah. That makes
possibly.
sense.
And then I'm not really sure exactly how that works as far as like I'm looking at a 3 month goal as far as after having learned all this material, is there like an opportunity for you to get online and maybe create something with that knowledge? So whether it be, I don't really know because I'm not sure, that's your area. So I'm not
Yeah.
really sure about that, but whether it be like
Website.
a website or or something where you can create it
Yeah.
either for yourself or for a friend or,
Yeah.
something that you can create and see how it's going to work so that you're actually using all that knowledge to put it into something that is tangible. Like, oh my
Touche.
gosh, look at, I just did this. And then celebrating that goal and saying, wow, I really have the tools to do this. Does
Right.
that make sense?
That's the funny part. Okay. That's where the creativity part would come from. Because once you get the knowledge, you be, okay, let me try to make a website. Then once I make the website, I was like, oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I can do that right now, probably though. But I'll try in like a month time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I mean, if your goals need to be sooner
Yeah.
than that, by all means, make them sooner.
Hmm.
Because if your goal is to really get going by January,
Yeah.
taking that, if it's a month you want to have a website up and running, I'm sure it sounds like you've got some really interesting people in your life that have a lot going on.
Yeah.
That if it weren't for, if it's not you that has the desire or need at this time for a website, that there are probably plenty of people in your life that
Hmm.
would have that value of your knowledge to put a website together for them for whatever it is that they're doing. It'd be
Yep.
kind of cool and you can help each other out. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
taking that stuff and working towards, the greatest good of all. So taking that to help others as well is always, always a good thing.
For a fact.
That makes
Yep.
sense.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Well, we're getting somewhere now. I'm excited. So, okay, what are your questions for me? Let's go with that for a couple minutes because I feel like I've dove right into you, and I apologize for talking so much.
No,
I'm
you're good.
excited to
You're
learn about you.
you're good. You're good. I mean, okay, sure, I guess. Okay, just for the other people out there. Okay, how long have you been doing this?
Well, I've been kind of in and out of teaching
Yeah.
since, oh gosh, probably how old is my youngest daughter? I have a 29 and a 31-year-old daughter. So since my youngest was about 5, so about 24 years on
Yep.
and off, I've been in and out of this type of environment.
Yep.
So it's
Be
been a long time.
right, as a fact. Okay, what's your favorite part about the job? No, no, wait, not wait,
This
hold on. No, top three favorite things.
top 3 favorite things would be definitely the interaction and meeting people. I think it's so exciting and interesting to meet,
Yeah.
just all kinds of different people from all different avenues. I think the second thing would be just the learning process because there's always something to learn.
Yep.
So it's exciting to take what I'm learning and give it to you and say, oh my gosh, watch that transformation from
Hmm.
somebody and like, seeing their light bulb come on and be like, oh my gosh,
Right.
we're doing this. So it's kind of that's exciting. I'm getting a 10-minute warning on my Zoom, just so you know.
It's all good. It's all good.
Um,
We're good.
yeah, I'm just gonna shut that. Um, and I guess the other part is just the flexibility about being able to do this remotely and anywhere is really fun for me.
As a fact. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to know what you have questions for me about how I can help you. So, like, how do you think coaching is going to, or do you have questions for me as far as like what I can do for you?
I don't know
I'm
how to.
challenging you right now.
Right. I mean, from how I picture it right now, the way you help is pretty much keep the person grounded by reminding slash like, hey, don't forget kind of thing. I don't know, but I kind of get the vibe, kind of, you know what I mean? It's just like, hey, literally like the title, life coach, like, like I don't know, just keep it's like a football coach kind of, hey, don't forget, let's go, boys, motivation, positive motivation kind of thing. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. That's awesome. I would love to be able to do that for you. And I think um clients that I've had in the past that I would kind of say aren't obviously don't have the same goals that you do, or the same topics that you're working on in your life. But as far as like the person that Nate is that I met the other, a couple weeks ago, where I was like, okay, other clients, how can I help Nate
hmm,
to catapult his life forward? And what I've kind of done for other people that were in similar situations as you are is exactly that. Just kind of help set some goals, trying to organize and prioritize those goals so that you are seeing that active, you know,
Yeah.
production in your life saying, okay, yep, we're moving forward, and holding you accountable because I'm kind of one of those tough coaches. I'm not a coach that's just going to be like, yeah, yeah. I'll be
Yeah.
a coach that's going to be like, hey, I want to know what you did today or what you did this past week that helped you get to your goal that's coming up here in a week and a half. Or, I'm going to be kind of tough. That's kind of my way of, working. I mean, we all have different ways, but
Uh-huh.
in my life, it really helps me when people hold me accountable.
For a
So
fact.
that's kind of something that I've done to help people that were in your situation similarly in the
Hmm.
past. And then also to keep that high energy and vibration, because I think that it's really all about like what you think is what you become.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm at, is just you have to remain thoughtful as far as this is what I know is going to come in my life,
Yeah.
and reminding you to just stay within that vibration of high energy, which you have, which is what attracted my energy to you right away. I was like, I would love to work with this guy. He's got some great energy.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, it's pretty awesome to see young people that are just like grabbing life and holding on to it. And I see that
Yeah.
with you.
Thank
That's
you.
pretty awesome. Yeah, absolutely. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see that. I have some, young children myself, and just to see them doing life and kicking it is pretty great.
Exactly. The
Yeah.
fact. Beautiful.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, what would you like to see me do? I can send you some information,
Yep.
which I haven't done yet because I wanted us to get a chance to talk and see. I mean, does this seem like something that you want to get working on?
Yeah, it sounds good. Yeah. At least try it for a
Yeah.
few more times at least. Why not, right?
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. I think we should, because I would love to see that progress in you. It seems like you've already gotten some of that going just from the energy. Did you
Uh-huh.
still have your bracelet?
No, you gave that to Madi.
Oh,
Yeah,
Marty got
yeah,
it. I
yeah, yeah.
thought it was yours.
No, no,
Okay.
no. Madi deserved that bracelet. Trust me, he needed it.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, then I need to get you your bracelet then as well.
That works. That works. Thank you.
Yeah, we're definitely got to do that. All this time I was thinking it was you that had it, but that's awesome. So
Yeah.
I will get you that. I'm going to email you some stuff
Hmm.
to kind of break stuff down, kind of give you a couple extra things that we didn't get to talk about that I think would be helpful for you,
Yep.
along with some other stuff for you to just look at and fill out.
Okay.
There's a sheet in there that's got a lot of different questions. I'm
Hmm.
going to try to tailor a couple of them more toward you because they're kind of basic questions, but I really want to know a little bit more about what's going on with Nate. And I
Okay.
think that will be really super helpful to get those filled out and share them with me.
Okay.
And then the next time we meet, we can kind of go over some of those. Sound
Okay.
good?
Yep. Sounds good.
All right. Anything else you need from me?
No, we're good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for your
All
time.
right. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for meeting with me. We'll talk real soon.
Okay. Sounds good. I want to see if it
Okay.
recorded, then otherwise send the recording to me. Okay.
Yeah, it says it's still recording right now, so I will go ahead and send it off.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate